We are going to show you some of our favorite iPhone, iPad, and Apple Watch accessories.
Then I'll show you the best way to get your news.
Before I show you how to prepare for any happening.
It's time for iOS Today! iOS Today comes to you from Twit's LastPass Studios. You're focused on security, but are your employees? LastPass can ensure they are by making access and authentication seamless, whether employees are working in the office or remotely. Visit lastpass.com/twit to learn more.
Podcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
This episode of iOS Today is brought to you by MySudo. Life is better without spam, ads based on activity, hacked info, or the risk of identity theft. Take back control of your privacy with MySudo. Download the MySudo app today from the App Store or Google Play. Go to mysudo.com/twit to learn more. And by Mint Mobile. Get your new unlimited wireless plan for just $30 a month. Yeah, and get the plan shipped to your door free. Go to mintmobile.com/iOS. And by Peak Design. They just launched their 10th campaign on Kickstarter, and it's a doozy. It's called Mobile by Peak Design, an ecosystem of cases, mounts, and accessories that make your phone a better tool for everything you do, including the new iPhone 12. To learn more, go to peakdesign.com/twit. Hello, Mikah Sargent.
Hello, Leo Laporte.
Today, accessories for your iOS devices, and I have a pile of them in front of me. You know, it's funny.
Surrounding me all over.
When you suggested this, I said, I don't know if I have very many. And then I realized as I went through my drawers and my bag and my everything that I have a ton of accessories, many of them having to do with cameras because, well, that's one of the things I do a lot with my iPhone. This is actually kind of a crazy accessory. They still make it about $188 from a company called DXO. And I don't know with the new iPhone 12 if you're going to even need this, but it's a camera for your iPhone. What? So the idea is it's actually a very good camera. See, it has a lightning port. It has a very weird kind of pixelated display. But if it is a 1-inch sensor, so it is a better sensor than on the iPhone, even on the iPhone 12. And one of the nice things about it is, you know, if I don't have the DXO app installed on this, this is the iPhone SE, but, well, there you go. I guess something is happening. Maybe I do. I already know how it works. I guess this is the beginning of, there you go. I guess I do have it on here. So you get it's kind of cool because you get a viewfinder. Incidentally, you know, you can flip this around, but you can also rotate it 90 degrees. So the ideal way to use this would be probably kind of in this fashion here. I'm gonna, you know, you're shooting like this, or you could even shoot like this. This is a still button, so it takes stills, but it also will do movies. And you see in the DXO app, they have a lot of additional features. You can control the camera right from the app, and it is a very, very good camera. Alex Lindsay hipped me to the DXO One. DXO, you might remember their name from DXO Mark, which is their camera benchmarks that they're quite famous for doing. Oh, I shouldn't have left it in rotated mode to put it away, but you get the idea. It's an interesting idea. I think most people who have iPhones, probably one of the reasons they love the iPhone is that they don't need to carry a camera. This is compact enough that if you felt like you needed something a little bit more, with a little more bigger sensor, 1-inch sensor, maybe a little bit more capability. This is kind of, you know, it's small enough that it's easy to carry it with your iPhone. That's the DXO One 1-inch sensor camera. You see it even has a belt loop on the case, so you could just have it on your belt, carrying it around. So that's the first of many camera apps. You don't have to do. I'll go left to right here like that. All right, your turn.
Okay, let's see. Well, speaking of cameras, yeah, I thought that this would be the perfect time to kind of talk about, we're getting these new iPhone 12s. They've got great video performance. And what pairs well with great video performance, but the brand new DJI.
Oh, I'm so jelly.
Now I can't even remember what this is called.
Is that the Osmo? Yeah.
This is the Osmo Mobile 4, I think is the
this is what we call a
now.
gimbal, kids. It reduces vibration from motion. Wow,
yes.
That is a big sucker.
So what's really cool about this, the new DJI Osmo Mobile 4, is that it's got this magnetic mechanism.
Oh, that makes it easier to attach. So the idea here is this is a tripod that you can handhold, basically. It's so steady that it's like it's on a tripod. But these are not inexpensive.
No, so this one is $149.
What?
So $150.
Oh, they've gotten so much less expensive.
They have gotten far less expensive, which is why I ended up picking one up, because they don't cost as much as they used to. So you clamp this onto your phone, and then it beautifully magnets to it, and then it can easily come on and off. You turn it on.
That's a huge improvement right there.
And then it immediately locks in place. You've got the gimbal working. The joystick, of course, is still similar for panning and scanning. You can zoom in and out. There are some new cool features that are built into the app. It's not the hardware that does it, but was it Ridley Scott that did the very interesting zoom thing where you move towards something as you zoom out, or you move from something as you zoom in?
That's a wild effect,
Yeah, so that's one of the things that's kind of built into it. It's got some really cool following features now, so the AI has improved quite a bit, and some slow-mo features that have improved. And then I don't know if you've seen those photos of folks that it's like multiple versions of them doing different things in a space, and it looks like it's all just photoshopped together so that they're standing over to the side, and then the other one's sitting in the middle with their arms crossed. The camera app actually has this built in now where it keeps the camera completely steady, and you stand in 3 or 4 different spaces within the space, and then it actually edits it together in the app. And I think one of the things that DJI is doing well is kind of trying to take the burden of video creation off of the user a little bit more. And so there are actually these templates now that you can use within the app, and it tells you, do a shot that is a wide shot, then do a shot that's, a motion shot. And so I'm really excited whenever I get the new iPhone 12 Pro Max on Friday to hook this up to it, because I'm planning on taking some really interesting video. And DJI includes in the box a little ring magnet, so that it's one of those that it's got the little ring on the back so you can slip it onto your finger, but then it also is a magnet for the thing, so you can make it more permanent. Basically, here it is. So it's got a little sticky on the back, and then it's got that little ring that lifts up so that you can slide your finger on there. So that way it's always ready to be placed onto the Osmo Mobile without any additional need for that clamp. So I was really excited about the DJI Osmo Mobile 4, particularly for that $149 price point, which is pretty awesome.
That's probably why you wanted to do this whole segment.
It certainly was part of it, for sure. I did want to talk about this, because
that's really cool. I hope you'll do a hands-on tech on that, because that is really neat. I mean, there are lots of ways to do tripods. This is a little Joby. Everybody's familiar, I think, with Joby, the Joby Gorillapods. Those are the ones with the articulated legs. And Joby makes a head that goes right on there. It's designed for the iPhone. In fact, this is kind of cool. This attaches to that iPhone head. It's a Bluetooth trigger, so you could pair it to your phone and then carry it in your pocket. This is perfect for selfies and family photos. You put this in your pocket, you set up the phone using the Joby device, the tripod, and then you can trigger it with the Bluetooth. That's very handy. I'd mentioned before, this is another way of attaching a phone, the gripped GRIPT. This has a silly notion that you might want to put this around your hand to hold the phone, I guess if you're worried about dropping it. But also, this will work with any phone because of this gearing mechanism. It holds the phone very nicely in little rubber V's, and so this also has a tripod mount. So if you had a Joby and you wanted another way to mount it, this is another good way to mount it. That's gripped, GRIPT, and then not from Joby, and then from Joby this is just one example of a million Joby devices. But I like this Bluetooth feature. I think that's pretty cool that you can take you can have a trigger that works with your phone.
Okay, I see that now.
Yeah.
Your gripped recommendation, I ended up getting one in blue
cool.
for that. They're really
What's
nice.
nice about this is machined aluminum. It's really solid, and it fits any phone.
I was going to say it's so adjustable.
Yeah. So those are a couple of different tripod solutions for people. Maybe not as fancy, but a lot less expensive than the DJI Osmo.
Indeed.
Your turn.
One of my I love this. Just right back.
We're going to run through these, baby.
Yes, we are. One of my favorite things. I got this a long time ago, but I use this every single day. This is the UE Boom 3.
I have one of those too. I love those. Yeah.
Yes. So it is just as much as the Osmo Mobile. It's $150. But this is a waterproof, dust-proof, beautifully sounding for the size and shape speaker that I use so often. So I am a person who likes to either listen to music or audiobooks or podcasts while I'm in the shower. I just like listening to something while I'm in there. And then throughout the day, because I'm typically home by myself just with the dogs, I will use this as I'm kind of walking around. And it's not too heavy, but has really good sound for being not too heavy. In the shower, you can sit it down anywhere and it can get wet and there's no worry about it. You can buy a mount, or rather what am I trying to say? An inductive charging plate that you can set it on. But one of the things that I think is really cool about this that's unique to the Boom line that I haven't seen from some of the other speakers is that even though it's off right now, it uses some sort of Bluetooth profile that lets it constantly be connected to the app. And so I could launch the app right now and hit the power button within the app and it would actually turn this speaker on. So from a distance, I can turn it on and turn it off. So sometimes I'll misplace it. And so I'll just hit that button to turn
Where's
it on.
Where's the music coming from?
Sound. Exactly.
That's
so
hysterical.
The UE Boom 3, it's $149.99, but genuinely I've never regretted this purchase, and in fact have recommended it to a few people who have then said, this is the best thing I've ever gotten.
I think it is one of the best Bluetooth
really
speakers. In fact, I bought two because you can stereo pair them and then take them outside and you got rock and roll outside.
Indeed.
I'm going to stick with cameras a little bit longer because I have a couple of flash devices that are kind of cool. This one Anker put out very recently, and actually I have to say this is probably my favorite choice. I originally got the Lume Cube. Lume does some really interesting stuff. In fact, I just ordered, they have a small LED panel designed for your Zoom conferences. But this is chargeable, so it's got a battery in it, and it is I won't turn it on because it'll blind you. It'll blind our cameras. It's a very bright light. It can either do intermittent via Bluetooth, so it can be a flash, or it can do continuous light. This is useful for videography, or if you want to have a side light while you're doing your iPhone pictures. This one's more recent. This is from Anker. Same idea, right? It's a cube, but it's different. What's different about this is this is the first MFI flash attachment for the iPhone. So what's cool about this is this can sync to your camera on the iPhone. And again, I won't use it, but it can become your camera's flash. And, on-camera flash is less than ideal. That's where you get all that red eye from. But with this, you can do an off-camera, to the side flash and get a really nice effect. I guess, I don't know, I can fire it, but I don't know if it'll... Yeah, so it's got a continuous light. Yeah, if I don't aim it at the camera, it's all right. And then it also has the flash for when you're taking a picture. Very bright. That's what's cool about LED technologies these days, is you can really, really get a bright light. Both the Lume Cube and this Anker Cube are chargeable by USB-C, so you can charge them up ahead of time. But it will also be driven. It can also be driven by your own camera's battery, and you have the choice between still and movie. It even has this. I could take this off, and it comes with a bunch of gels, so you could put different colors.
Oh, wow!
Yeah, this is a really cool device and fairly affordable too. So, if you're looking for a flash, this is the first and to this date the only MFI flash. It has a lightning adapter from Anker. It's called the iPhone. It's got a great name, the iPhone LED Flash. So. It's kind of generic, but it gets the job done.
You can't really miss it.
And as long as you've got a tripod, you can also, it's got a tripod connector. So that's really handy too, because then you could put this off-camera mount. But I love it that you have, with this, you have enough stretchy that you can get, what you would probably do is be shooting a picture like this and holding the flash out there so that you can get you don't want to shine it into their eyes. That's where you get the red eye. You'd like the light a little bit off, and so you could try different angles like that. Pretty cool. That is from Anker. I have a bunch of Anker stuff. They do really great accessories for the iPhone.
Yeah, I was going to say. So speaking of Anker,
one other thing.
Oh, go ahead.
I just forgot one other thing. This also has a diffuser, so it doesn't have to be super bright. With a diffuser on it, you get a nice soft light, so you can use it for a fill light or something a little bit less daunting. So you could
use it for your work from home setup.
I probably wouldn't do it for Zoom. I would get the Lume device for that. That's a little, it's about iPhone-sized LED light that really is a cute thing. Comes with a little tripod. But, put that in your briefcase and smoke it. That's a nice little thing. Well, you probably shouldn't smoke it. Yeah. But a nice little, that and the Lume Cube are pretty darn nice. Your turn.
All right, up next I've got, let's see, what do I want to do here? I will keep on Anker, just talk about some of their cables, because, you go with Apple's cables and you are setting yourself up for disappointment.
Yes.
They fray, they break, they bend, they tear, they do all of those things, and you end up paying a premium for a not premium device. Well, one of my favorite new purchases, and I've been slowly doing this with just as much as I possibly can, is converting over to USB-C. And so Anker for $19.99, this is I believe it's 6 feet, a braided USB-C to lightning cable. Yeah, 6 feet.
And look at the reinforcers right on the plug there too. That's nice little rubber reinforcement at the end, because that's where cables go. Frankly, the little bend area, the strain relief sleeve is really long. It's thick, and then it also like I said, that whole braided cable. It feels good, and it's going to last. It comes in black, it comes in red, and I think it comes in what would be called space gray, in 3 feet and 6 feet varieties. But this is one of my go-to cables for when I am using the camera or the iPhone as a camera, because there's plenty of cable here. I can, thread it through and get it to where it needs to go. And then one of the other cables that I use constantly, that certainly anyone who watches this show has seen in the background, whether they realized it or not, is another Anker cable. This one is a USB-C to lightning cable. It is not braided, but it is still, for using it every single day and constantly, wrapping it around and doing all these things with it, moving it around, it is holding up just fine. And it is less expensive. I think it's $9.99 was the cost of this one. Anker makes really good cables for not ridiculous amounts of money. And I think that, I've certainly been very happy with them. And most of them support any of the new charging methods, PD charging and all that stuff that require, you can't have a super, super thin cable for those things. It's great. Anker's the best. They do such great stuff. In fact, I have a bunch of Anker things sitting in front of me. I will mention that they now do, if you're looking for a charger, as you know, the iPhone 12 doesn't come with a charger. I got the Anker Nano for my mom, 30-watt charger. They're using what we call GAN now, gallium nitride technologies, that make it possible to make chargers that are really small and they don't get hot, but carry a lot of juice. So this is a 30-watt little. This is actually a little bit bigger than the one I got from my mom. This is the Atom PowerPort Atom PD1. It uses USB-C PD, which gives you the most power. This is another Anker GN device. They now are getting up to 100 watts on these little devices, which is really nice. This has both USB-A and PD charging. Anker just is knocking it out of the park. AUKEY also makes a similar device. I have the AUKEY. This is 100 watt. So this would be suitable. You know, you get this one charger, and you can charge everything, your iPad, your phone, and your MacBook with this, because 100 watts is as much as the MacBook charger. And because it's GAN technology, it's just remarkable how small and cool these guys are. This is a 100-watt charger.
Turkey.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? And these were on sale.
Okay.
I bought 6 or 7 of them because they were on sale on Prime Day for down. I think they were $31. And I thought, this is what you want to have all over the house. And Apple does ship the Type-C to Lightning cable with the iPhone. So some people ask, it's not unusual for them to ask me, well, gosh, this is a 100-watt charger. Is this going to kill my iPhone? Absolutely not.
Nope.
The circuitry in the iPhone and the circuitry in the charger will make sure that it doesn't overpower. And this is suitable even for using with your MagSafe charger, your MagSafe charger. So this is probably, you know, either Anker or AUKEY. This is the new the gallium arsenide technology gallium nitride technology is just amazing what they're able to do in such a small, and it doesn't get hot either because of this. Which is really
arsenic
cool.
and old lace technology is really
Well, it used
powerful.
to be gallium arsenide, and then they realized that didn't work as well as gallium nitride, so there's a little bit newer formulation.
Yeah, I was going to show off the AUKEY Omnia that's got 2 100-watt
Perfect.
ports. So yeah, pretty much the same thing as yours, just with 2 instead of 1. So it could do 100 watts max. So you could charge an iPad and an iPhone on it with max charge on both, or as I have been using it for the MacBook Pro 16-inch, it's plenty of juice to power that.
The way these adapters are rated is 100 watts total. So if you've got 2 things plugged in, they're not going to each get 100 watts.
Exactly. So yeah, it's perfect for, like I said, iPad Pro and iPhone plugged into it. You'll get the maximum charge that they both can take, but not overdoing it, as we've said, because of the circuitry that's built in. The one that I wanted to talk about next.
Well, let me just show one more thing, as long as you're on Anker, because I got another Anker device. You can get the MagSafe wireless charging stand someday. It's not available yet, but they're expensive from Apple. Yes, it's going to be a little bit faster. It's going to be 15 watts instead of 7.5. But remember, the iPhones work with any Qi charger. This is Anker's, much less expensive, and I really like the idea of an easel charger, because it's hard to miss when you put the phone in it. Plus, it supports any Qi charging phone, including the older variety iPhones. And I just think these are really great. And shop around, because Anker's offering, I mean, these go down as low as $25 or $30.
What's that one called?
I have the box right here. It's called the Anker Charge Fast, Live More. Doesn't really have a name. It's the PowerWave 7.5 stand, and that tells you it's 7.5 watts, which is the max that you can do with Qi charging. Apple's charger, the MagSafe, goes up to 15 watts. It just means faster charging. Honestly, slower is better for your phone if you're going to do it overnight, and that's exactly what you would do with an easel charger like that. You're probably just going to leave that overnight and charge it that way. I have another charger that I've used for years, and I've recommended it for years. This is the TYLT charger from who makes this? The TYLT VU. I guess it's TYLT.com. Same idea. I love easels for Qi charging because it's kind of hard to get it wrong, and they all have lights on the bottom that you can see if you're properly positioned. I think Apple's done great things with the MagSafe, but for people with older phones or people who don't want to spend the extra money or don't want to wait for a MagSafe charger, these easel chargers are really good. Okay.
So my 1-2 punch here is from 2 different companies. The first one comes from Nomad. Nomad makes the...
Love Nomad.
rugged case
Look
for
at that.
AirPods Pro.
Isn't that beautiful?
So this is a beautiful leather case that has an opening for the LED light in the front, and it's a little bit, the leather is a little bit softer right here in the back for the pairing button. It fits perfectly on the AirPods Pro case with your charger at the bottom, flips up just easy, slides back down, no problem. And because it came with a little lanyard hole on the side, I was looking for a sort of shorter lanyard so that I could just kind of carry my AirPods Pro case on my finger. And there's a company. Oh, and that one is $34.95, made of real leather. So over time it'll wear and look even more beautiful. And it has already started to. But I paired it with what's called Ringke lanyard finger strap. So these it's $9.99. You get 4 of them in these different colors. I think they're beautiful. They kind of remind me of those NATO watch bands. So there's like this olive green color, just a simple black one, a black and red one, and then this one, which is a houndstooth white and gray lanyard, and it's got a little slider on it. And the way that they sort of market these is for iPhone cases that have a little lanyard hole, and you can just put it on your finger, and then it makes it easier to kind of hold your phone as you are taking photos or doing whatever so that you don't drop it. But I thought it was perfect for this.
Beautiful.
I think it'd be perfect for keys. And yeah, for $9.99, you get 4 of them, and then it's really well made. And so it was kind of a no-brainer for me with pairing with that Nomad Rugged Case.
Coincidentally, I'm also wearing a Nomad Band. Nomad does a lot of beautiful leather work, Horween leather and all that. This is a black Apple Watch band. The only negative is it's pretty stiff because it's new leather, so you're going to take a while to work it in. But once you work it in, the nice thing about leather, it wears very, very nicely. You've seen me before also wear my Pad and Quill leather watch bands. I'm a big Pad and Quill fan. These are Pad and Quill phone cases. They're going to make this for the iPhone 12 Pro Max as well. And this is a Pad and Quill iPad case. It's pretty nice. I like these straps because it makes it look like you're carrying a Moleskine, but no, you're carrying a $1,000 iPad in here. It's even got a little pouch. My only concern with the Pad and Quill, and I think it's maybe because of quarantine, as you can see, I like to get my my monogram on there because my name, Leo, has 3 letters. So you can do a 3-letter monogram. They sent me this one, but it's got somebody else's, CSH. If you want your case back, you can have it because I want one that says Leo. If you got one that says Leo CSH, I have your case. Let's talk.
Oh, no.
Let's do a hostage exchange. But they're beautiful. No. They make nice leather. I wrote them and I haven't heard back, but I just said, if CSH wants his case, I've got it. The other nice thing is these can be used as a stand. So these are really pretty. They even make them that'll fit the Magic Keyboard. So if you have a Magic Keyboard and you don't want to give that up, that's Pad and Quill and Nomad. I think they're kind of head-to-head competitors for leather goods. Yeah, for your iOS devices.
Why don't we take a quick break before we come back with more?
Whew!
Does that sound good?
I got so much more. I'm just beginning. But let me show you. This is absolutely the accessory every iPhone should have. It's my Pseudo, M-Y-S-U-D-O. It's my pseudonym, if you think about it, for use with people that you just don't want them to have your phone number, your email, or your credit card number. I love my Pseudo. They were a lifesaver during the campaign, because if you wanted to give money to a political campaign, and if anybody did that, they harass you endlessly for the rest of your life. With My Pseudo, you can create your very own My Pseudo pseudonym. This is I have many of them, but here's the one I created for politics. I guess I could show it to you. I could show it to you now. So this is a text message that came in, but you also get a phone number. There's some phone calls that came in. You get an email address. You even get a private browser that you can use so that if you want to go to a site and you don't want anybody to see that you've been on that site, My Pseudo does it all. And it does it all within the iPhone. Everything you do online, increases your digital exhaust, spreading your personal information across the digital world, your name, your phone number, your email address, your credit card numbers, your billing and shipping address, browsing activity, and a lot more. It's what happens, when people get spam. But my pseudo lets you create a personality for everything you do online. You can see in my pseudo, I have a variety of different pseudos, including one for shopping online, one for politics online. You can name them so you know what you've got. And when the phone rings, it doesn't ring my phone. It goes right into my pseudo. They can send a text message. You get a custom phone number. You get an email address. So you can say, whenever I'm signing up for a mailing list or whatever, I can use the My Pseudo app. That way, potential services or buyers don't get my actual phone number, my actual email address. They get my pseudo. And if they start harassing you, it's a beautiful thing. You can just delete. You could just delete your account. It's the easiest thing in the world. You want to see? I'm done with politics. I don't want to get it anymore. Let me go to my politics account, and I can just delete it. It's gone. Delete this pseudo. That number is no longer my number. Boom, it's gone. No more messages. Isn't that awesome? It's so awesome. You can send and receive calls. So you can make calls from that number. You can send and receive texts from that number. You can send and receive emails from your My Pseudo email address. You create My Pseudo without a login or credentials. It's tied to your phone. You get a private key that is on your phone only, and only you have access to it. They use an encrypted cloud, so any metadata stored in their cloud is encrypted. No one, not even My Pseudo, can read any of your communications because, again, it's with your unique key. You get end-to-end encrypted communications with other My Pseudo users for messaging, for voice, for video, for email. It's always encrypted, so only you have access to your data. You can block calls. You can show calls in recents or not. You can make it so that you only see the calls when you go to your My Pseudo directly. You have, and by the way, there are some nice features. The chat has some lovely backgrounds you can choose. I have a nice cityscape, but maybe in the winter now you'd like that lone pine in the snow. That makes it kind of pretty too. You don't feel like you're using some, kind of ugly utility. You're using a really nice utility for all of your texts, your calls, your emails, end-to-end encrypted. I love it. As you may remember, this was my app cap a few months ago. And one of the things, as I've learned more about it, I've been even more happy with it. They take protection of your data seriously when you download the My Pseudo app. You don't log in. You don't give them any information. They don't know who you are. You get access to all the tools. Anybody who's ever received a bunch of text messages or annoying phone calls from spammers, and who hasn't, right, will love My Pseudo. They have a variety of plans to fit your needs. You really got to try this. Go to mysudo.com/twit. You can take control of your personal information. This is something, even if you don't use it all the time, you really want on your iPhone for those times when somebody says, hey, if you want a great deal, send us your phone number or your email address. Stop doing that. Start using My Sudo. You can even create credit cards that you use within My Pseudo. It's the all-in-one privacy app. mysudo, mysudo.com/twit to take control of your personal information. We thank him so much, for creating the app. I mean, it was my app cap long before I had any relationship with them. And I think it was because it was an app cap. They said, oh, Leo likes it, that they called us and said, would you like to do ads? And I said, heck yes. Heck yes. That's not exactly what I said, but heck yes. I love this app, and I really want everybody to have access to it and use it. And by the way, if you you could just download it, I know, in the App Store. And that's fine, but do us a favor. Let them know you saw it here by going to mysudo.com/twit. You can learn more and then download it from the App Store. Just fantastic, My Pseudo. On we go with our iOS accessories show.
Yeah,
go ahead. You got one. It's your turn. Is it your turn? It's your turn. Go ahead.
I think it's my turn. I'm not sure though.
I just wanted to many more.
Good. I wanted to give another mention for the stand type charger.
Oh yeah, there you go. Which one is that?
So this is Nomad's Base Station Stand. It's got this beautiful leather on the front. But it's also got a really cool little feature where next to the USB-C charger is a oh golly, now I can think of what it's called.
On-off switch?
No, it's the light sensor, but I can't think of the actual name for it. An ambient light sensor. That's what I'm looking for. And so depending on the amount of light in the room, it will either display the green LED on the front or not, which I think is really nice. So this I actually had to unplug because I always have it sitting at my desk.
That's the Anker. Yeah.
No, this is still the Nomad. I was just saying I unplugged it temporarily, but yeah, it works like you would expect, except also with doing a phone in portrait mode, you can charge the phone in landscape mode, and you can actually take your AirPods, and if you've got a wireless charging case, you can put those on there, and it will also charge those. So there are, I believe, 2 coils within this
dual
base
coil
station stand.
is the key on that, because you do want to be able to do that. That's really good. Yep. Yeah. Very nice.
What's up? What's up next from you, Leo?
Oh, man, I don't know where. I got so much stuff. I don't know where. We're talking about batteries. This is kooky, and I'm not sure. There are a lot of different companies make it. But if you travel, nobody travels. But if you find your watch dying middle of the day because you didn't charge it, or you just want to have access to a quick watch charger, this is a battery pack for your Apple Watch charger. Is that hysterical? What? You put it on your keychain, and then if you need a quick shot of juice, this is, I think it's 700 milliamp hours. So that will fully charge, not fast charge, but it'll fully charge your Apple Watch. So this is really handy for travel or any time where you might run out of juice on your Apple Watch. You just keep that on your keychain, keep it full.
Who makes that?
This is OITTM, but if you search for that on Amazon, there's 20 companies. I think it's all the same
Gotcha.
thing. Yeah. So it's a really, really clever idea for charging, I think. Go ahead. I got more.
Okay. The next thing I'll talk about is also from Nomad. This is the most incredible thing that Nomad has made to date. Again, another leather pad, but this is Nomad's Base Station Pro, which uses what's called free power technology. So instead of your typical wireless charger where you've got Qi charging 3 kind of coils, this uses a technology called free power, which are all of these tiny little charging, they're sort of like hexagons, these little hexagon coils that are placed throughout the device. And so you can set up to 3 devices on this charger anywhere on this surface, and it will charge those 3 devices. So I could put down an iPhone here. Well, actually toss an iPhone down here, toss down my AirPods Pro case here, and suddenly those devices are charging. So there are 18 charging coils inside that use all of the little chips inside to figure out how to work together to form what they call an electromagnetic coupling to your device's power receiver. Wow. So it's full surface charging. This is the first consumer-facing company to use Aira, AIRA, Aira's free power technology, and this thing is really incredible. It's pretty heavy. It's made of aluminum and leather, and it uses a USB-C charger. And I just had to. It's kind of funny. This charging base has a firmware updater that you install on your computer. And I just had to update the firmware because when the iPhone 12 first came out, it didn't work with the MagSafe. So it would kind of cause some issues. You'd put down the phone, it wouldn't charge. But they quickly updated it, installed the new firmware, and now it can charge the iPhone 12 just fine. This thing is what AirPower wanted to be. Yeah, AirPower, wanted to be, but never ended up coming out and being. So it's just so cool. And I don't know, it is expensive. It is a new technology that like I said, this is the only consumer-facing company that's using this technology right now. So at where did I drop that? Oh, at $229.95, so $230. It's pricey, but if you were looking for a way to not have to think about dropping your wireless charging devices onto a thing and charge multiple devices at once, then there you go. I think that the best way that I've seen this used is, a master bedroom. You've got maybe 2 people and, a pair of AirPods. So each person can drop down their phone at night on here. Somebody puts their AirPods down. It all gets charged. The one thing I wish it did that the AirPower was going to do is charge Apple Watches. So this does not charge Apple Watches, but everything else is covered with the Base Station Pro from Nomad.
And of course, Apple, they haven't yet released a number of their MagSafe charging devices. Apple's going to have one that does the watch and the phone at a great expense.
Yes.
And when those come out, we'll take a look at them. But, I think I have to say the accessory market, Apple serves kind of with the basics, and then it's the third parties that really kind of go the extra mile. For instance, here's something that I think anybody who has an iPad might want from HyperDrive. HyperDrive makes a variety of connectors to expand that single port on your iPad. This is the one I got. It was a Kickstarter. A lot of what HyperDrive does is on Kickstarter projects, but this is one that I use all the time. It has a single USB-C connector. Notice it's got reinforcements designed specifically for the iPad. And then on the other side, you get a headphone jack. You get a USB Type A connector. It's USB 3. You also get card readers for SD cards and micro SD cards. And you can continue to power it. This is the power charger. But they make a variety of these. The idea is you attach this. It's very compact, easy to carry around with your iPad. And now and I forgot to mention an HDMI port at the top. They have other capabilities as well, but this is a really nice device. They even have one that has dual connections for a MacBook Pro, and then has an adapter with a single connection, so you can take one device. It'll work with your MacBook Pro and with your iPad. I think this is really handy. Notice the iPad is MFI, so the iPad sees it. It knows it's connected. It'll work with it. There's another variety of these devices. Otherworld Computing makes also a fairly compact one. You see the cable goes right into the back of it. This connects again to the iPad and gives you a big variety of ports, including a charging port. It's a little less compact, however. So when I need a card reader, for instance, I pretty much take the HyperDrive with me all the time. They make great stuff, HyperDrive does. And they're all, it's one of those companies that's that's Kickstarter based. And then once they get the Kickstarter to launch the product, then they start putting it on their webpage. And if you go to their webpage, you'll see there's quite a few little doohickeys and docks and dongles that you can buy from them. They're very, I use them on my iPad Pro as well as on my iPad. They're really they've done a lot of different devices. So
cool.
Next,
very cool.
Next
for me is the phone soap. This is.
I'm glad you brought yours. I was going to bring mine. I forgot. Yay.
So Phone Soap, you may have heard about this company by now. They, of course, have taken advantage of the situation in terms of letting people know that the product exists. Basically, you've got 2 ultraviolet bulbs inside of this glass container, and you plug it in, you put your phone inside of it, and you put down the top, and then it blasts your phone or whatever else can fit inside with the UV light to destroy bacteria and other germy wormies that exist on your device. It also comes with a USB-C and USB-A port on the back so that you can charge your device while it's in there. And then on the side, it's got a little hole with a gasket so that you can make the cable go out and charge it. So charge and clean your device at the same time. So this is usually plugged in downstairs, and then when either of us comes back to the house, then we can simply drop our phone down into this and give it a nice blast of UV. I've used it for Apple Watch bands as well. Basically anything that fits can fit in inside.
Yeah.
I can use to clean.
I put my keys in there. Yeah, that's a really nice thing to have. And in the era of COVID, I think a lot of people. I think that for a while it was hard to get the phone soaps because everybody was buying them up like crazy.
I'm all out on this end.
Oh God, I'm so just getting started. I'm gonna combine them into segments. So this is now audio. This is the audio segment. These are things that you can now. For instance, I'm not a big fan of the AirPods. to be honest. They fall out all the time. I don't think the sound is great. I prefer, these are a little less expensive too. This is from a company called One More, number 1 MORE, not iMore, One More. And these are the Bluetooth One Mores. I love these. Scott Wilkinson recommended to me. You see, one of the advantages is these go around your neck so that you're never going to lose an earbud. They seal very much like the AirPods, but you don't look quite so crazy wearing them. Because they're very good quality. I think the bass is remarkable. And a couple of things I love about it, because this is going around your neck, the microphone's on here, so the audio quality for phone calls and Zoom calls is 10 times better. Really, really sounds good. And these have active noise canceling. So there's ANC.
Wow.
You turn that on, and it's really good ANC. This is active wind canceling, which actually does a really good job to protect the microphone. If you're, these are great to wear while you're taking a walk and you want to listen to music, but maybe we take a few phone calls. Big battery life too, because the battery is in this neck piece, so that really makes a big difference. And these have magnetic ends, so when you're not wearing the headphones, they hang around your neck like a beautiful but weird necklace. I'm a big fan of these. If you're looking at AirPod Pros, save a little money. I think you'll like these even better. These are from One More. These are their Bluetooth ANC. One More makes a lot of different ones, but you'll know you'll got the right ones because it's the one that goes around your neck, and that pairs via Bluetooth to any device, including your iPhone and your iPad. Speaking of hearing. I wear hearing aids. I don't know if you knew that, but I am an old man. And a couple of companies, Starkey and ReSound, make hearing aids that pair to your phone. They're MFI hearing aids. And one of the neat things about that is you can control them from your phone, but you can also pipe phone audio into them, which is even better. I have it set up so that a triple tap on here gives me access to the hearing aids. I can see the battery level. I can change the levels. There are presets on many of these. Starkey and ReSound both do this, where you can say, I'm in a restaurant, use the restaurant and profile, so you can cut the background noise and hear your partner better. It's a great way to control headphones. And I have to say, because it's you want to get one that's MFI, because then your phone calls can go through your headphones, your music, your books can go through your headphones, or your hearing aids, and nobody will hear you. These are rechargeable, which is kind of nice, rechargeable and Bluetooth. So this base station, just like an AirPods Pro, it's a little bit larger, charges them. I think really a nice idea. If you're wearing hearing aids, I recommend, or you're thinking about it, I recommend getting hearing aids. Oticon, I think, also makes iPhone-compatible hearing aids. Look for MFI on the hearing aid. Finally, one more. You said hearing audio. One more thing. I think everybody should get another Scott Wilkinson recommendation. The audio coming out of the speakers on your iPhone or on your iPad uses the built-in digital to analog converter in the iPhone and iPad. And while Apple puts pretty good ones in there, you can get better. I use this iFi hip-DAC whenever I'm listening to music through my there is no lightning cable, although you can use a lightning cable with this. I have it set up to use it for my iPad, but it'll even work with a computer. It gets the digital audio out of the device and then converts the digital audio to analog audio here. And because they use it's a very good headphone amp and a very good digital to analog converter. I think it's the Burr Brown. So as a result, you get really the best quality sound, and it works with higher end headphones that might require a little bit more power. There's a bass boost setting that you can turn on if you like more bass. There's a level setting you can also use if you're using high impedance headphones, and it offers a regular headphone jack but also a balanced headphone jack. The higher end headphones, this is really an audiophile device, will use that and you'll get even better sound. It's beautifully made, rock solid, got a built-in battery so you could charge it up. Comes with a variety of cables to fit whatever you're going to use. This is the Type A, weird kind of Type A charger, audio cable that they use that goes to the iPad, but you can use your Lightning with it. It also charges via Type C. This is the iFi hip-DAC. It's about, I think it's $250, but it is, if you care about audio, wow, Really, really remarkable audio. Audio in is also something people are interested in. Shure makes a variety of made-for-iPhone microphones. When I'm on the road and I need to record a commercial for the radio show, this is what I use. This is the MV88. This is a stereo dual capsule with a, look at that, with a lightning connector on it. So this might remind you a little bit of the camera that I was showing earlier. This works with your iPhone. You can aim it forward. It has a variety. The Motive app on the iPhone will give you a lot of control over the kind of sound you're getting. Let me unlock this and launch the Motive app that comes with the microphone. And this is the MV88 Plus. You can see I'm getting a level out of it, but I can also change the pattern. I can record. This is really a remarkable doohickey, if you will. and you see it has a giant Windschutz, which you should probably keep on there. But it can record front, left, or right. You control the pattern. Excellent audio coming out of this for people who need kind of professional level recording, or even just for your next movie. This is great. And because it comes with this really nice compact case, it's very easy to carry around with your iPhone. This is Shure. They make a whole Motive line. This one's specifically for the iPhone, but they have a variety of other microphones as well. This is my Aura ring. You know about Aura? I've talked about this before.
Aura.
Good old Aura. These were a sponsor for a while, but we still like them, even though they're not sponsoring us anymore. The Aura rings, I think it's in my health section. Yeah, there it is. It pairs to your phone. You can get sleep data from it. You can get readiness data. You can get exercise data. It is a really powerful little device that just goes on your finger. I don't like to wear a watch to bed, but a ring, not so bad. You wear that to bed. It keeps track of everything, including heart rate variability, sleep efficiency. Readiness is a variable that depends on heart rate variability. It's a really nice way to keep track of your activity. If you don't want to, it's disconnected. It'll connect in a second. If you don't want to wear your Apple Watch all the time, it's a good adjunct for the Apple Watch. And it does a few things the Apple Watch doesn't do. It's I think a little bit more accurate with heart rate because it's right there on your finger. It's definitely more accurate with temperature than a lot of other devices. And so one of the reasons I wear this is in this time of COVID to keep an eye on my temperature. It will let you know if your temperature is going up or going down. So you can see even a half a degree or a degree change. Usually that's related to readiness and your overall body state, but it also will help you keep an eye on your overall health. O-U-R-A, the Aura Ring. It's about $400, but it is a great little device. This is the charging stand. It's a Type-C charging stand. You just plug it in, and it goes about 4 or 5 days between charges. So you don't have to spend. Usually what I'll do is when I'm taking a shower, I'll take it off, put it on the charger, and it gets enough juice to keep going. I'm done.
All right.
I'm not done, but that's good enough.
That is, yes.
It turns out the iPhone is really made. It's so strong. Such a good seller. There's so many of them, a billion of them out there. That's just made for accessories. And in fact, that's really what happened to Macworld and to some degree CES. They became iPhone accessory shows because there was just so many things you could do. And it's not just cases. So we've gone well beyond that. All right. Let's do Mint Mobile and continue on with the show. Our sponsor today
another accessory
is a great. Everybody should be using Mint Mobile. You'd be crazy not to. This iPhone SE I bought it from Mint Mobile, and it has a Mint Mobile SIM in it. What's great about it is you can get a great phone and great Mint Mobile service for about half what you're paying for just the service alone from any of the big carriers. Mint Mobile has just introduced their unlimited data plan for people who just don't like limits of any kind. Now, how much do you pay for your unlimited service on the other guys, T-Mobile or Verizon or AT&T? Probably close to $100. I pay, I think, $90 for T-Mobile. Well, this is T-Mobile service. They're an MVNO, so they resell T-Mobile service. Unlimited, and that includes unlimited nationwide talk and text for a third what I'm paying T-Mobile, $30 a month. Unlimited data, unlimited talk, unlimited text, $30 a month. How do they do it? Well, they don't have stores. They save money on the retail. They do all their support via phone. It's just a better way to do it. If you hate big wireless, and who doesn't, and you're ready to cut the ties, Mint Mobile is the best deal in wireless out there. They pass the savings on to you. All plans come with unlimited talk and text plus high-speed data on the nation's largest 5G network. I'm not on the unlimited plan, but I might as well be, because I got, for $25 a month, $300 I paid a year up ahead of time. The phone was $15 a month. The plan was $15 a month. For $30 a month, I got a phone too. I mean, it is amazing. That was their introductory plan. But I think now with the $30 a month unlimited, it's just a no-brainer. You could bring your own phone with Mint Mobile. Just, port it over, keep the same phone number along with all your existing contacts. They sell phones too, and they have a great deal on the iPhone SE and other iPhones. If you're not 100% satisfied, don't worry. They have you covered with their 7-day money-back guarantee. I think all of us have wanted to do this. Stick it to the man. Break up with big wireless. Switch to Mint Mobile's premium unlimited data plan. It's minty fresh for $30 a month. And they will ship you the SIM at no cost if you want to put it in your old phone. So it's a really easy way to get started. To get your new unlimited wireless plan, just $30 a month. Get it shipped to your door for free. mintmobile.com/iOS. We thank him so much for supporting iOS today. This is the best way to get into an iPhone and save a lot of money. People talk about the cost of the iPhone. Forget the cost of the iPhone. $100 a month, $70 to $100 a month for 2 years. That's the real cost.
Right.
Go to Mint Mobile and save. And by the way, when you go to mintmobile.com/iOS, that helps us. That means then they know you saw it here. mintmobile.com/iOS. Save on the phone, but really save on the service. Why pay those big guys all that money when you can get it for $30 a month? Unlimited. mintmobile.com/iOS. Micah, what's next?
Yes, it's time for the news.
Well, we have
folks.
some news.
Well, yes, we're going to be going into news, but aside from that news, which is
soon.
Apple's event, it's potential Mac event that will be coming. It's called the One More Thing event. There is some news. If you have not yet done it, you should absolutely upgrade to iOS 14.2. Apple released iOS 14.2 to the masses, and one of the things you can look forward to is not just one thing, but multiple things. More than 100 new emoji.
Woohoo!
Including new animals, new food, new faces, musical instruments, and so much more. It was fun. I was watching a show, and my partner had just updated to iOS 14.2, and he decided to challenge himself by going through all the emoji and trying to figure out which ones were new. And so he was naming, that one's new. Oh, I don't think they had the dodo bird before.
The Matryoshka doll, the dodo, the ninja, the quarter. What is that? A lung? There's lungs.
Those are some lungs.
There's boba tea. There's a beaver.
I love the Italian hand.
Hey, what's the matter, you? They call it pinched fingers, right? But yes. I think depending on the language, that could mean a lot of different things. I don't know. They've really done a great job. And this is a big update, I think, right? More than just new emojis.
Yeah, so there are 8 new wallpapers that you can check out. Those ones come with that new dynamic feature where there's a light version and a dark version. So folks can look forward to that. The big thing is that on the iPhone 12 Pro and the 12 Pro Max, I know you folks talked about it on Mac Break Weekly, is a person detection.
If you've got LiDAR
feature
on your device, you'll
be able to use this.
Yeah, the magnifier app will detect people nearby and report their distance. Wow.
Very cool. If you're getting one of those goofy, I think they're goofy, leather sleeves for the iPhone 12, it's that little thing where you slide your phone into it, and it's got MagSafe, and then it has this little opening where you could see the time at all times. So that they added support for that. Now, the optimized battery charging that I've talked about before on iOS, for your iPhone in particular, there's a setting where you go in and you say, basically, over the course of the night, slowly charge my device so that it's not putting a bunch of heat into it. And then as it gets closer to me time to wake up, do that last bit of charging that I need so that it's fully charged when I wake. They're adding that technology or that feature to AirPods as well. So now it will extend the life of your AirPods battery when you turn that on, if you have them, with this new battery charging feature. There's a headphone audio notification so that if your listening would be if your hearing would be impacted by the sound of by the loudness rather of the whatever you're listening to, it'll let you know. AirPlay controls have been improved, which I have noticed that they are incredibly improved in comparison to how they used to be. And then one of my new favorite features is it's a home theater update for the HomePod. And we've complained, I know Lori Gill has, I know a lot of people have complained about how in the before times, to use your HomePod as a speaker for your Apple TV, it was kind of a nightmare because basically your Apple TV would forget every single time that you were connected to your HomePod. As of iOS 14.2, when you upgrade your HomePod as well, you go into the Home app and you take your HomePod in the Home app and you put it in the same room as the Apple TV 4K. This is a feature that only works with the Apple TV 4K, unfortunately. And when you do that in the Home app, it will say, do you want to pair your HomePod with your Apple TV? You say yes. And then from that point on, as a default, your Apple TV will use the HomePod as the output for the sound. Now, here's what's cool about this. I remember just a couple days ago after I'd set this up, I went to my Apple TV and I was watching a show, and then suddenly I was like, oh, I need to go in and set the audio to my HomePod. It was already set. I just didn't realize it because it works that well. It just worked off the jump. There was no problem with it at all. And because of this, there's actually support for Dolby Atmos audio. And so my partner and I were watching a show the other night that had Dolby Atmos support. And I kid you not, I had to look behind my shoulder because I thought there was a bird chirping behind me using all the different tweeters and stuff inside of the HomePod as the output source. It actually genuinely worked. It was not just some silly marketing feature that they were kind of talking about. It also adds support for intercom, which is the thing that they showed in the last Apple event where you basically can send a message to the household through the HomePod or HomePods or HomePod minis that you have throughout your home. And so they showed like dad in the car on his way home using CarPlay and saying, I've got pizza. And then in the house, it was like, boom, I've got pizza, and then you could respond to it. So that is a feature that you can use. I've got it it's on the Apple Watch to send to the HomePod. It's on my phone to send to the HomePod. All of that's available in the Home app. And then the last thing is to provide statistics about exposure notifications to participating public health authorities. So what that translates to is exposure notifications are getting a little bit better as iOS 14.2 has been upgraded. And then, of course, just plenty of bug fixes and things like that for iOS.
Yeah, security patches too. Always do the updates. Apple doesn't really talk much about the security fixes, but there are security fixes, so you'll definitely want to pay attention to that and do it.
Love it.
Let's not do too many more. We got about 15 minutes left in the show. So.
Yes. The only other thing that I'll mention then is Austin Mann, who is always kind of mentioned as these iPhones come out. You should check out his iPhone 12 Pro Max camera review. Austin Mann went out to Zion National Park in Utah and took some incredible photos with the iPhone 12 Pro Max with the ultra wide in panoramic mode, and then some starry night sky stuff. And just scroll through and see. One of the things I really dig that Austin Mann does is that he uses the built-in features for editing the photos so that you're not getting extra stuff that you wouldn't also be able to do with just the iPhone. So very cool. We'll include a link to that in the show notes. But yeah, do you want to take a quick break then, and then we'll head over to
Why don't you do the feedback, and then we can do the break and
Sweet.
and do our app caps.
All right, so the first bit of feedback comes from Michael. Michael says, when you were talking about the merits of different sized iPhones, you didn't mention my main reason for picking the iPhone SE. I can operate it one-handed. I can hold it and my thumb can reach almost the whole screen. I often find myself holding something in my other hand or holding onto a subway pole or whatever and being able to navigate with my thumb, which is handy, pun intended, haha. Michael's question, in the past 2 months, my battery life has gone from 6 or 7 hours to about 2 hours. Is there anything I can do short of having the battery replaced? Michael, that sounds bad. If in 2 months you've gone from 7 hours to 2 hours, I would say there might be something wrong with your battery. And if that's the case, then there is a chance that you could get it replaced by Apple. So I would not take that route.
Here's the trick on this. There's in the settings, if you have any recent version of iOS, and I'm sure you do, there is a battery setting. You can look at that, and that will tell you your battery health. This is what you want to look at. If your battery health has dropped significantly, 100% means it's brand new. If it's down below 30%, in only a couple of years, Apple may well replace it. Sounds like there's something wrong with the battery. But if it's still at a high level, 50, 60, 70%, I wouldn't expect it to be below 70% if it's only a few years old, then there is another issue. There are other things that can cause your battery life to go down. You have an app that won't go to sleep. It's not doing the right thing. Or your cell phone towers have weakened. It's not unusual for your cell phone company to turn off a tower, the one you were using, and now your phone's doing a lot of work to get cell connectivity. It's hunting, it's roaming, it's searching, and that can kill battery life badly. So circumstances may have changed, not your battery. So the way to know that is to look at the battery life in your settings, see how healthy your battery is. If its health is still good, if it's above 70%, then you probably should look for an app that's eating juice or something else. If it's really low, Apple, in all likelihood will replace it because it shouldn't be too low after only a few years.
Yep. Settings, tap on battery, and then from here you can see, as Leo was mentioning, it's loading right now, the apps that are using the most battery. So you could see if that's what's causing your issue. And then if you tap on battery health, you'll see maximum capacity at the top. Mine's at 96%.
Yeah, it's a pretty new phone.
So still within new.
Yeah.
And then this is that setting that I was talking about earlier with optimized battery charging, where you can turn that on too. After a while,
the optimized battery charging, we should explain. When you first plug in the phone, it says, oh, maybe he needs it soon, so it'll charge up to 80% as fast as it can. But as soon as it hits 80%, it's going to slow down to protect the phone because it figures, oh, you're overnight or whatever. And so that's protecting the battery. You've probably been using that all along. It's on by default. It is possible to mistreat your battery in such a way that its health goes down faster, kind of chiefly just discharging it and charging it a lot. You only get a limited number of cycles. But and optimized charging will help. It should be on. If it's not, turn it on.
Yep. And then the next one comes from Mac. Mac writes in to say, when you post using Instagram, you can share to Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr. So if you are in Instagram and you tap the little 3 dots and you tap share, it's got little switches for Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr. But when you have the pictures in your iCloud storage like I do, and I believe Mac means in the Photos app, you get a very bare bones Instagram experience. You can only share to Instagram. It's not a huge deal to go to Instagram and share the photo to Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr, but you can't do them all at the same time. My question is this: is there a way that you are aware of to share directly from iPhoto or from Photos? Well, he says iCloud storage, but I think he means Photos here, to Instagram and still have that full Instagram experience? I'm not opposed to OneDrive or Google Drive, but I like iCloud because it's one less username and password to worry about. Plus, I think I'm going to keep my Apple One plan that has the 2 terabytes of storage. Mac, I think that the better thing that you can do here is make use of one of those beautiful services like IFTTT and Zapier that will do the work for you. So you can go ahead and do your little share from the Photos app where you're in an app, you tap the share sheet button.
I think, Mikah, he said he needs the iCloud login, so I think he's actually sharing it from iCloud. I don't know how he's on the web that. On the web page, sharing it from iCloud. I would be my guess. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Shortcuts or if this then that would allow you to do much more with a simple share. I wonder when he says he needs the iCloud login, that sounds like he isn't doing it from Photos. He's doing it from somewhere else. I don't know where.
Yeah,
I guess the website.
Yeah, maybe send us some more information, Mac. But and also if you need help with figuring out IFTTT or Zapier, also you can send in, because it's a complex process. But once you get it set up, essentially, the thing that I've done in the past is I share on Instagram with a certain hashtag, and then it automatically posts that photo to these different places that I want it to go.
You could also do that with shortcuts. Can you share to a shortcut? I don't use shortcuts enough. Yeah, you can, right? Mm-hmm. So you could create. In fact, that's probably the fastest thing to do on your phone. Or a device, create a share to shortcut that does it all, right?
Yes. Yeah. As long
it even puts a frame around it and puts a happy face on it. You can do You can do anything.
As long as Facebook and Tumblr have tie-ins. I know that Instagram has a tie-in and Twitter has a tie-in where you can share photos. But Facebook and Tumblr, if they have tie-ins with shortcuts, then you could.
Yeah. I'm at a disadvantage here because I've stayed well away from Facebook.
Which is totally fair.
Yes.
So that's going to do it for us on our feedback for the week. Thank you for your questions. There.
Just email us at iOStoday@twit.tv, and Micah's really good. He really tries to answer all of them. I just go, yeah, screw it. Well, you just, I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed. You care about people much more than I do. Our show today, I should probably not say that. I just get so many. I'm burnt out.
Tired.
I'm burnt out. I get I get literally hundreds of emails a day, and you're fresh. You're new.
Yeah.
You're just beginning your journey.
My journey to jadedness, apparently.
Yes, you're on your way, but give it some time. You got about 40 years on me. I got about 40 years on you. Our show today is brought to you by Peak Design. Now, I'm not jaded about Peak Design. I think Peak Design is awesome. This is their 10th Kickstarter since 2011, and I think I've bought into almost all of them. Peak Design, they're photographers. They're out of San Francisco. They love photography. They've worked with Trey Ratcliffe and other photographers to make the best cases, for carrying your cameras around. The best straps. All my cameras have Peak Design straps on them. The best connection system. The best mounts. The best everything. I have their travel tripod. That was their last one. Now they've done one. I feel like they did it just for me. This is the brand new Kickstarter campaign for Peak Design. It's called Mobile by Peak Design. And this is perfect timing for the iPhone 12. It's an ecosystem of cases, of mounts, of accessories to make your phone a better tool for everything you do, from photo and video creation to biking and motorcycle riding, working in the home, working in the office. In their words, you don't need more screen time, you need better screen time. And yes, it works with the iPhone 12 and it works with the MagSafe system, but it works with a broad variety of phones. You'll see if you go to their website, peakdesign.com/twit, it'll redirect you and it'll show you all the different phones it works with. The key is this proprietary mechanical locking system. They call it Slim Link. It uses a precision-machined piece of zirconia ceramic and an array of magnets to provide intuitive, no-look connection, wireless charging compatibility, and hard locking security for those extreme activities. They've put this Slim Link system into their everyday phone case. I'm just buying an inexpensive phone case from my new iPhone 12 because, honestly, I went to the Kickstarter at the minute it launched and I bought everything. Including the case. So I'll have a case for my iPhone 12 Pro Max. The case has that zirconia square on the back of it. And what's cool is for, everyday use, for instance, I got the mount, you put it in the kitchen on the wall. The phone goes right on that. For the charger, you've got the MagSafe charging, goes right on that. You have a dashboard mount that can charge or not, depending on your choice, goes right on that. But then there's times you're riding a bicycle or a motorcycle where is not enough. You want more than just the magnetic. And for that, a quarter twist, and it is locked in. It is not going anywhere. I'm also excited. I'm going to be replacing that Joby I showed you with a machined aluminum tripod with a buttery smooth ball head built specifically for mobile devices. Again, it'll snap right into the tripod, so you'll carry the phone, you'll whip it out right under the tripod, and you're ready to shoot. They also have a charging stand. I think I mentioned that. The low-profile wall mounts. I'm going to put that in the kitchen and so forth. And because they're photographers, there's a kit of adapters to mount your phone to standard GoPro or Arca-style systems. I have Arca heads on all my tripods, including my Peak Design travel tripod. That means I'll put the mount on, and it'll just go on smooth. It'll be so easy to use. Just about anywhere you'll be able to create content. And I think with the movie facilities of the new iPhone 12, I cannot wait to start shooting using this fantastic system, the Mobile by Peak Design. World's most crowd-funded active company. You can go to peakdesign.com/twit. They will bring you there. They're just fantastic. I couldn't say better things about Peak Design. We've been fans since they started in 2011. I have all their cases, all their straps, and I cannot wait to get this new system. You can start by just buying the case. You can add what you need, no more, no less. It's all there at the Kickstarter. Peak Design, P-E-A-K, like a mountain peak, design.com/twit. And I just want to say, get into Peak Design. If you're a photographer or, an amateur and you just want the best of everything for your phone and for your camera, there is no better company. peakdesign.com/twit. Thank you for your support of iOS Today. Thank you, dear listener and viewer, for supporting us by going to peakdesign.com/twit. That way, you could go to the Kickstarter directly, but this way they know. You saw it here. I'm betting while I've been talking that Mikey Sargent. Oh, Micah. You got to get on the ball. You were listening to me. That was your mistake.
I know. What was I thinking?
I thought he would have his app cap on. Oh, that's cute.
I made this, Leo.
You crocheted that all by yourself?
I crocheted this hat.
Oh,
yes, this is
really
my first
cute.
crocheted hat.
That's really good. You're too good. Did you do the little pom-pom on the top?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
it
there's
jiggles cutely.
It's actually very easy, pom-poms. You just get a pom-pom maker, and essentially what you do is you wrap the yarn around. Oh, yeah.
Impressed.
It's a secret.
Don't
In fact,
be.
I just blew
let
on
me
the
be
yarn
impressed.
and it turned into a pom-pom. This took a long time, though. This is a long time in the making, so I knew as soon as I had it ready, I was going to be wearing it.
That's a lot of watching The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills right there in that hat. In that hat right there.
Or is that the sorting hat?
Or is it Selling Sunset? I'm wearing a sorting hat. You recognized it. Yes. Nice. It's telling me I go to Gryffindor.
Oh, you're a Gryffindor, are you?
Well, no. I wish I were. We can't all be Gryffindor.
I'm a Ravenclaw.
I'm Hufflepuff. It's so depressing.
Really?
Yeah.
So is Sebastian.
Oh, yeah. He seems like a Hufflepuffer.
Yeah.
Hey, at least nobody we know is Slytherin. That's just, I'm just saying.
What's Lisa?
Oh, she's definitely Gryffindor. I did not make this sorting hat. You can't make a sorting hat. You got to be a witch or a wizard to make a sorting hat. But we wear these hats because
the show.
because we only have a few minutes left, because it's time to honor our app caps, the best apps of the week. We're going to kick it off with Mikah Sargent.
Yes, my app pick of the week is one called Harbor, which is available for free in the App Store. And Harbor is an app that wants to help you get planned and get ready. When there was it's fire season ongoing, but when there were first wildfires here in California, I think I saw this app on Product Hunt and decided to download it. And the way that you start when you first get this app is you can tell it where you live, and then it gives you some information about common risks that are in your area. Oh. So earthquake, wildfire, and some other things. And then you can actually add to it. So I've got wildfires, home safety. I guess I didn't add earthquakes, but that's
I saw earthquake. I saw it. There it is. Right
there's
at the top.
Tsunamis, there's floods, volcanoes in some places.
Oh, I see. You have to tap it and add it. I get it. Okay.
Yeah, so it would have recommended it to me at first, and I think I just didn't hit the add button.
There's nothing to do to prepare for earthquakes. Just pray that they don't happen.
Exactly. So what's super cool is that this is a way, it tries to help you kind of not be overwhelmed by how much preparation you can do. And so what it'll do is kind of split it up. And so, for example, here's what to do this week. First thing that you want to do is get your contacts in place. And then it talks about your essential things that you need to do. So basic safety, power, and heat, you can figure those out. So it helps you improve your readiness for wildfires and home safety, including finding the right valves and panels around your house. So it'll actually, you can mark it, and you can take photos of the different things in your home so that you know right where they are whenever you're in the midst of it. It helps you put together a go bag. And so it will tell you, I want to build my own. And then it tells you kind of what the different things are that you need. Only a small percentage of Americans have a go bag. So you're very much standing out.
Oh, good job.
So here.
Now, I think it's not just having a go bag. It's what you put in your go bag. If you put your Gucci loafers in your go bag, that's not a go bag.
Yes. So
but they tell you what to put in there, I'm sure.
Yeah. So in fact, it says like the most important things to start with: emergency water packets and food bars.
Oh.
And then to go on from there.
Not my Grateful Dead ties.
Right. Exactly.
No. Oh. Okay.
And then you keep going. Connect is an example. So I started to fill out this. I'm not going to tap on it because it'll show a bunch of phone numbers, but it helps you find out what your local fire department and all those different numbers are, and then also who your emergency contacts are.
Oh, I'm
you and your
this
family.
This is great.
Exactly right. And you and your family can work together. So you invite your family to it, the members of your household. And then I love this page for risks, which has specific information to these different things. So you can read up on kind of what are the common risks for folks who have to deal with heat waves. In the middle is your emergency page. And so you can see alerts and warnings from NOAA, from Red Cross, from the Google Public Alert System. And then it will talk about what to do during a home safety issue. So get out of the home for a home fire, for example. The household right now, you show your family members. There's all of your equipment, so you can figure out what you need for your car, what documents you should have on hand, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then the last page is just your kind of personal information to help you get that set up. So I think this is a really fantastic application that when you do the things that the app kind of offers for you to do, like adding your family to it and getting those contacts involved, it can be very helpful. So available for free, no in-app purchases or anything like that. This is
as it should be, right? You wouldn't want to make money on misfortune,
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. So it's just a no-brainer to me. Totally worth it to download.
Just installed it. Fantastic.
Harbor.
Yeah. Really cool. HARBOR. No Britishisms here. And it's something. What was the tagline? Harbor, don't worry. I said.
I forgot
in the App Store.
Don't worry, be ready.
Don't worry, be ready. That's it. So if you're having trouble finding it, I initially got Harbor Freight Tools, so that wasn't what I was looking for. Search for Harbor. Don't worry, be ready. Don't worry, be ready. This is an app that I use every day, and I'm a little worried because I use it every day that maybe I've mentioned it before. Certainly we've mentioned it on Mac Break Weekly, but it maybe is something unique to us, to Mikah and me and the rest of our Twit staff, but we have to check the news a lot. And lately, people have been doing that too. And, remember Google Reader went away. That was their RSS feed reader. But fortunately, NetNewsWire is back. This was Brett Simmons' amazing free app years ago. He sold it, bought it back, and he's brought it back as a free RSS reader that makes it very fast and very easy. It's downloading stuff, so it's going to be, you can see, it's going to take a little while because at the bottom of the screen it's showing. I haven't opened it up today, so that means I have a lot of stuff. But you'll create feeds. Most websites, believe it or not, have RSS feeds still. Ours does. In fact, all podcasts do. So you can also use this as kind of a podcast reader as well. But this will let you check the latest stories. I apologize because it's downloading now. And there we go. You can easily pick the category if I want to keep up on apps. For instance, this is how I figure out what my app cap's going to be. I'll go through the apps subscriptions I have. This is App Annie. You can find blogs that you like, subscribe to those, and then it makes them all available very easily. It is a news reader that has been created by somebody who has more expertise in news reading than anyone. And so as a way, let me see, let's find something here. Mann makes puzzle for cockatoo to solve. You can watch the videos in the news reader. You can read the article. Some sites only put a summary. Some sites put the whole article. You can use this to bookmark it. You can use it to go to the web page, so it's very easy to jump to the web page you want. It has all the features you'd be looking for, including very powerful share features here so that you can, bookmark it. That's what I do with Pushpin. Send it to my pin board. So there's a lot of very useful tools here. Here's a reader version of it, and it's free because he's been doing this for so long. I guess he made so much money. I don't know why, but what's great is this is Brent Simmons, and Ranchero has bought NetNewsWire back, and they are making it again. For anybody who's a long-time, there's a Mac version as well, long-time Mac user, and newsreader user, this is the one. This is the king. NetNewsWire 5.0, he says, dedicated to all the people who showed up to help with code, design, HTML, documentation, icons, and testing. Thank you, Brent, for bringing it back. NetNewsWire is back. It's free, and it's my app cap for anybody who wants to keep up on the news. I don't like Apple News. I find it's too involved in my news. I just want to see the stuff, and it's easier than going from web page to web page to web page. We have to wrap this up because we've got somewhere to be in about 8 minutes. Apple's going to announce something. We don't know one more thing. But we do this show normally. We did a little early today so that we could go to the Apple event. Well, virtually go. Hey, I got an invite, man. I'm excited. We do this show normally around 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern time. That's 1500 UTC right here at Twit. You can watch the live streams or audio or video streams at twit.tv/live. If you're doing that, chat with the chatters, irc.twit.tv. And of course, if you want to listen or watch on your own schedule, it's a podcast. So you could use NetNewsWire to subscribe, or any podcast application, download it automatically. You'd be ready to listen the minute it's available at the end of the day on Tuesday. That's Mikah Sargent, host of Smart Tech Today, Tech News Weekly, and of course, this fine show, iOS Today. I'm Leo Laporte. We got somewhere to be. We got our finery on because we got an Apple event. We'll talk about that next week. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time on iOS Today. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Woohoo!
I'm Jason Howell, host of Tech News Weekly here on twit.tv, along with my co-host, Mikah Sargent. Each and every week, we talk to people who are making and breaking the tech news. It could be journalists writing amazing tech stories. It could be experts. It could be the sources of the stories themselves, developers, you name it. We bring them onto the show, and we talk to them about why their story is resonating with the world. You can watch and subscribe by going to twit.tv/TNW. Make sure you do that and you won't miss a single episode. We'll see you there.